Okay, starting the work week, obviously division game at our place. An opponent, when you're in the division second game, they know you. We know them. Obviously, a couple different players on both sides of the ball they have to get up to speed on. But obviously, you have to play your best. You got to play your best football versus a good opponent at our place. So working real hard this week on all three sides of the ball. With that, I'll take any questions.
How do you see the Ravens change since the time you guys played?
Well, I'd say, some new faces in there. Get some guys that were injured, didn't play in our first game, and now are back. Moving, had the trade there, a couple trades there on defense, so moving some pieces around to different spots. So just evolving, I would say. Well, he's a really good player, and he's played safety, he's played nickel, he's played their dime linebacker, so he's really a player that has always had that versatility. Daniel can show up anywhere, they can blitz him, he can play the deep half, he can cover tight end, so there's really a lot of versatility to what he does.
Have you identified, Kevin, more of the issues on the coverage units in your film study?
One more time, there.
No, on your guys. After letting a punt return
Special teams. Yeah, we looked at obviously, Jeff. You look at you look at the scope of your team every single week, and certainly we didn't do a good enough job in this last ball game, and it's a major focus of ours. And we're looking at any area that we can improve it.
Kevin, this is the sixth game in a row against the Ravens that you've had a different starting quarterback. What challenges does that present to coaching staff?
I think it's no different, Tony. We talk about this every week. There's injuries. There's all sorts of things that happen in a course of a season, and regardless of position, we trust the guys who are out there to go, compete, do their job, and help us win.
When you talk about the ups and downs of rookie quarterbacks, particularly Dylan, what are some of the things you like about his development, and where are some of the areas you guys continue to focus on?
Yeah, I think with any young player, you're constantly coaching and teaching, and you're teaching off of some mistakes on film, and you're also saying, hey, this is really good. We're going to lean into this. So that's a constant dialogue that you're having with Dylan, with Coach Musgrave, with Coach Reese, in terms of, hey, this is exactly how it's done. This is where the read is. I think so often what happens in football is you prepare quarterbacks and you give them looks, and you can't give a quarterback every single look in the course of a given week. Now, with turns and with reps and with experience, quarterbacks obviously can lean on those. So with a young quarterback, in this case with Dylan, you just constantly have to give him as many looks and talk through coverages as much as you can, and when it's there, trusting the reads and delivering the football. So I think there's some really good things that continue to go on, and then we just as an offense obviously have to do our job all around that position to have success as an offense.
How much do you balance what is on the quarterback and what is on offensive line, wide receiver, whomever else is on?
I think any offense, any defense, any special teams, you need all 11 on the same page doing their job, and that's the coach's job. It's the player's job. It's all of us. So any success you're having as a unit is cohesion amongst all those guys.
And there were some throws by Dylan that just looked like completely off. Like I'm thinking of the one to Malachi out there in the flat, and just a couple other ones maybe even in the first drive. So is what's going on there with Dylan? Because it seems like in those moments he has time to throw. Is it his mechanics or what's going on in those
I would just caution Mary Kay to any quarterback, young and old, you're going to miss throws. It's an occupational hazard that you're likely not going to go 100% in completion percentage. It's an occupational hazard that a corner is going to get beat deep every once in a while. So you're not going to make every throw. Now, having said that, you coach every throw, and you say, hey, this could be, use your technique here, or trust what you're seeing here, all those things. And that's true of young and old quarterbacks. Yeah, again, I think big picture, Daniel, you want to make sure you're coaching all your players to have constant improvement, and there are things that I know Dylan can do better and will do better as a young quarterback. And I know there are things that we as a staff can do better at and putting our guys in position. So I just think it goes back to I understand the individual aspect of this, but there's also the collective aspect of this.
Kevin, watching Lamar coming back from his hamstring injury these last couple of games, how has he looked since you guys obviously seen him so far?
Yeah, looks like himself. Obviously, the offense is a huge challenge with him in there. Just his ability as a passer, the ability that his running element adds to their offense. They have playmakers throughout the roster.
And as you evaluate young players, especially young quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
you guys maybe all have different perspectives on whether it's you, Andrew, scouts, whatever, in terms of you evaluate what you're doing, how they're progressing. Is there like a baseline timeline, and you guys kind of feel like you get a good read on who somebody is, what they're becoming, how they're developing?
Yeah, I can't speak to a baseline like that. I would say, with all of our young players, and having now been around them since back in April, I'm seeing great strides from our guys, both in the building, on the field, and it's not perfect. It's not, we're not. You can seek perfection, you're not going to get it. But with any of our young players, I'm really, really excited about how they're working their craft, which is such a big piece of this. And I think you're seeing improvement over the course of time, but I don't think you're going to see perfect from any position.
Kevin, I guess you would have announced if Watson was medical.
Mhm.
Assuming he's not. Would you say with 8 games left, is it goal of the organization to see him back on the field?
Yeah, I don't have an update there, Tony.
Kevin, when you watched the film, what were some of the things that you liked about a Tommy Rees called game? Some of the things that you guys think you can build on moving forward?
Yeah, I thought Tommy, and I would credit Tommy and the entire offensive staff, Mary Kay, I thought they did a really nice job in the game, both leading up to the game and then in game, and some of the conversations that they had and some of the adjustments throughout the game that you're making, whether personnel or scheme or otherwise. Again, you guys will talk to Tommy. And I know this too, there's always calls you want back and that type of thing, but I thought he did a real nice job along with the staff in operating.
Kevin, along those lines, Jerry got involved
Mhm.
earlier in this game, obviously affecting the season for him. How important was that, and how much do you think they have to build on that?
Well, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I mean, Jerry's our best wide receiver. He's one of our best players on offense. We know that he's a guy that we lean on to do a lot of things that the teams that we're going against know that, as you see. So he's a focal point of what we want to be.
Is IR a possibility for Dallas, right?
We'll see.
You haven't really get into any conversations you have directly with players, but just accountability. What is your, I guess, philosophy? How do you hold, players accountable for critical mistakes that they make with their team?
Well, I think it's important. We hold every player accountable for everything we do. I'm accountable for everything we do. So you just try to be very open and transparent and honest with your football team. A lot of that doesn't make it outside this building, and that's just kind of part of being a family as you keep things in-house. But our guys understand that part of the accountability is a shared accountability, so it's all of us. One more time, Dan. Mm-hmm.
What is the factor in a quarterback that's not pushing the ball downfield at the same time making passes
I would just tell you, Daniel, it's our job as coaches and certainly the players to go be productive on offense. And it's very, I understand that a lot of the focus goes to the quarterback position, but I look at it also globally and try to look at the ways that we can improve across the board, and whether it's how we're designing some of those plays, who we're putting in those spots in some of those plays. I think that's as big a part of it as well.
With Tillman coming off of a hamstring injury and missing 4 games and never having played with Dylan before in a game, do you feel like that's one area where you guys can target for a lot more improvement?
Yeah, I think how many times did we target Sed in the game? 4. I think we trust Sed. He's in positions where we can start with him in the progression, move to him in the progression. We trust him to get open. We trust him to catch a football. I thought he caught a really, a good ball over the middle in a contested moment. So he's definitely a big part of our offense. I think he continues to be a guy that we lean on in a bunch of variety of jobs, if you will, but a very trustworthy player in the pass game as well.
So the last several games, Dylan Sampson has gotten far more snaps than before. So I'm wondering why.
We like both players. I think it's when you get into these games, Tony, you're looking for guys in different roles. Jerome's a guy we trust, has played really well for us in some third down situations. Dylan's a young player that has made plays for us with the ball in his hands. I think we can be better around Dylan Sampson at times. I don't know that we did a great job on a couple of his runs I'm thinking of, particularly in the last game. But we like all these guys, Tony. I think it's just a matter of what roles each guy is playing on a given Sunday.
Kevin, how will you emphasize penalties? I mean, the big reason why you guys lost the game, obviously something has changed. How are you going to emphasize it?
Yeah, it's emphasized every week. We talk about penalties after every single practice. Spend a lot of time talking about the avoidable penalties, the ones pre-snap, whether it's alignment on offense or defense or special teams that are totally preventable, and then using great technique in a given play can eliminate a lot of that. But those are things that we work on and talk through every single day.
How does having change the run game? You guys did a good job against Henry too, but how does it change?
Yeah, he's a huge piece of the puzzle for them. He's versatile in the things that he can do, but as we've seen going against him over the years, he's a big physical football player, and having him back does change some of the things that they're doing.
Seems like they're using keep control a little more in the backfield and sort of mixing up some of their
Fast, again, kind of to Tony's point. Sorry, Tony, giving you credit, but you're always looking for different ways to get guys the ball and different roles, and in some ways what they're doing and what a lot of teams do is keeping your number one guy fresh with a different guy that maybe has a little bit different skill set.
You mentioned the ball that Tony caught over the middle. Do you feel like that's an area where you guys can target that for a lot of improvement? It seems like maybe your receivers aren't winning enough those contested balls.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers would suggest, Mary Kay, but obviously you're trying to get guys open so they're not contested. But when they are, the quarterbacks have a ton of trust in our guys to go up and get those footballs. I think about said drawing that drawing the DPI in the second drive of the game there, which was a huge penalty to get the drive going. So you're going to give your guys opportunities.
You use Aiden Hunt, he had a concussion, he's back. And using him as a fullback seems inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
4th and 1 for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
What determines whether you use him in the short yardage or not?
I would say he's certainly a valuable part of our football team, Tony, both as a defensive player, a special teams player, and an offensive player. I think each game and each game plan is dependent on what you're getting from the other side, and then ultimately what plays come up in those given moments. But definitely is a guy that we trust in those moments.